So we're here with the trainer of Daniel Jacobs, Andre Rozier.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Nice
All
to finally
right.
talk to you in person. This is a wonderful fight in terms of styles. You've got a very versatile fighter in Danny Jacobs. He can fight out of both stances. He's athletic. He can box. He can bang. And you've got Triple G, who is kind of a wrecking ball. He is a technical fighter, but I notice he really sets his feet. It's a little bit slower sometimes. Can be a little bit wider. It's very precise, but he's trying to deliver power with every shot.
Right.
Is the onus on you guys to kind of take advantage of him in between those spots as he wings the shots? I mean, you're not going to give me the whole game plan, but is it about being quick and being in the right spot?
Well, of course, it's being able to dictate policy in the ring and
I like that.
creating the avenues and the ambiance for punches to land when you want them to at the angles that you want them to. And we will be utilizing our capabilities of controlling the ring to do that on March 18th.
You've been with Danny his whole career?
Yes.
Since the very beginning. And,
Yes.
and has he always been a switch hitter?
No, he actually got into swinging back and forth maybe about 4 or 5 years ago.
The wild card, I started seeing him do it.
He was toying with it, and even though he doesn't always do it,
Yeah.
in his mind he wants to have almost everything in his arsenal. So I don't begrudge him the fact of, okay, no, you can't do that, because it's something that he would like to learn. And me myself, I was a southpaw when I boxed, so of course I'm not going to tell him no. It's something that I can teach him in earnest because I'm left-handed.
Oh, okay. You're your natural southpaw.
Yes.
Did they convert you, or did you?
My coaches back then did, but I would box southpaw more so than orthodox.
Huh.
So yeah.
Yeah, in some senses, all these kind of little mishaps, even getting knocked down by Sergio Mora, then coming back and righting the ship in the rematch, all these things are tests that he ends up ultimately passing.
Exactly.
And that kind of makes him, I almost look like his loss in those moments are a strength versus the guy that's never tasted defeat.
Exactly.
Hasn't fought a lot of punchers, hasn't had a lot of adversity.
No, not much at all. And for anyone and everyone, they say, oh, well, Danny Shin. There's been so many fighters. Felix Trinidad. Anytime he got knocked down, look out, he killed you.
Yeah.
It was a wrap.
Yeah.
Until he was too old to actually pull the trigger. But from that point on, you knocked him down, you opened the cage to the lion's den.
It's like 9 times before he fought Oscar De La Hoya.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And each and every time he stopped his opponent.
Mm-hmm.
So Danny has learned from those mistakes, and he's not going to make any mistakes. When we fought Mora initially, and I saw it coming, he knocked Mora down and he went in hot. He was off balance. His hand was down. His foot was up. No jab. He was like on this position to begin with, and I mean, things happen. He wasn't hurt. It's just that, almost like if you get slapped off your feet. And I told him, I said, when he came to the corner, I said, boy, he said, I know. I said, don't go in hot. But as he did display in the Kid Chocolate fight, he was ready to rock and roll, and he was on point. And then he came back to totally dominate Mora like no one else has done. So he was back on track.
You think when you're facing a guy that can stop you with one shot or hurt you with one shot and then finish you, it adds that extra edge. I mean, knowing that Quillen could punch back,
right,
kind of brought his focus in a little bit.
It certainly did. He was ready. He was aware, and he was prepared. We had worked really hard for him to perform as he did in the ring, and he did everything we asked for. Well, you never know how a fight might go. I mean, we didn't expect the events that took place in the Kid Chocolate fight to be as they were. So we don't know how it might go, and we don't know what Triple G might do. Triple G is respected. He's very respectful of people who can punch, as was displayed initially when he fought Curtis and Lemieux.
Yeah.
More so with Curtis, because that was one of the first times I've seen him in the first round really not step in and go in as a big aggressor. And rightfully so. hey, I don't want to taste dynamite. I know the kid could punch, and he might say it time and time. Oh no, I didn't get. Yeah, you did get hit, and you did get hurt on occasions.
Yeah.
So we can see when those legs take a little dip. When you're in there with a puncher, that's what happens.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, Curtis didn't follow up, and he stayed on the back step, and he didn't work as he was supposed to. But we're not going to have that issue come March 18th, because when Danny strikes, he strikes fast and he strikes hard.
Yeah, it's two very different instruments.
Yes.
Curtis and,
Yes.
and Curtis can sometimes remember his jab, and then sometimes
Exactly,
he doesn't really
exactly.
work, you know?
These are some of the things. Consistency is very important, and that's one of the issues with our camp now. We have characterized this training camp as consistent focus, and that's what's going to make things very, very effective for the victory.
So those moments don't happen, like with Mora and Chris
Exactly.
about placement. I was like, if you have a flaw, people point at the chin.
Right.
First, I think it's his placement. Sometimes he puts himself in positions he just had no business being.
Exactly, and we're not going to do that. And it's going to be very difficult for Golovkin. I mean, Danny punches from strange angles at times, and they're fast punches.
Yeah.
And I think when Triple G realizes this kid's hands are a lot faster than I thought, and he's punching hard with them, it's going to change his whole game plan.
Yeah.
So he has a lot to deal with, and not to say that okay, because he's 34 going to be 35, but to say it. 35 is an age.
150 amateur fights.
Yeah, it's an age where things start to go in the other direction.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I was 30, I was the man. When I was 35, I was thinking about things how to keep myself being the man.
That's very true.
So I mean, he has some issues on his plate that he is going to have to deal with. So, but we're ready, and you've got an exciting, big, fast, strong middleweight and Daniel Jacobs that he has to contend with.
Can you talk about his sparring partners too? These guys are
Oh, we had great sparring. We had
anvils out there.
They are our own teammates. We had Sergey, the technician, Deverenchenko. We had Affendil, Suicide, Kerstides, who will be vying for the WBO interim title against Langford in England. And I mean, it won't be shown here, but I guarantee you that monster is coming to take Langford's head off. And he is just the person to do it.
He's been waiting a while too.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
And actually a young man from your area, Kilo, he's boxing on Friday.
Oh, okay.
He came down and he was great, energetic work. He's a young, tall, 25-year-old middleweight, and his record is 5-0. And he came down, and you would thought he was 50-0 the way he was working. He came to really get his time in, and he did a wonderful job.